Hi again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of RV Business Capital Talk, sponsored by the Dicor Corporation. I'm Rick Kessler from RV Business. With me, as always, Sherm Goldenberg, drinking his coffee from RV Business. And joining the two of us today is Jarrod McGhee. Jarrod, of course, is the founder and CEO of Funtown RV. Depending on who you talk to or what day it is, it's either 15 or 18 or 34 stores. We're at 18 stores with a couple coming online here pretty soon. Most of them based in Texas, but you're in Oklahoma, Illinois, and Indiana.
That's true. Absolutely. We actually have one coming online in Kansas as well.
In Kansas. Very good. Congratulations.
Yeah. This is going to be a smoking interview, just so anybody's worried about smoke. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to put up with me smoking in this one.
Well, Jarrod, let's
coffee. If I don't have my cigarette and Sherman don't have his coffee, it'll be a dry interview.
Well, that's all right. I'll pull my whiskey over here too then.
All right, that'll work.
Jarrod, let's talk about Funtown RV, founded in 2010, Cleburne, Texas. And especially in the last couple of years here and the next couple of years coming up, you've got some major expansion plans.
Absolutely. We just put TJ Smith on as the president of our Eastern division. He's got about 10 stores on his board for the next 2 years, just in that division. And we still have our Texas and westward expansion that we had in our primary group that was already up and rolling. So with the addition of that, that's going to open up a lot of new markets and territories for us. And we're pretty excited about where everything's heading.
Just looking at it, Jarrod, the pace of your growth, it's accelerating, is it not?
Well, it is. We've got the infrastructure. I'm a big believer in Packard's law from Hewlett-Packard. You can't grow faster than your ability to put management and processes in place. And so I spent the first 10 years of my business, expanding and growing, but I was really working on building a system that would allow me to do that and manage and have my processes put in place, whether it's bringing in outside managers training to our system, creating software systems that worked. We just bought the U.S. Health Building in downtown Fort Worth. That's our new headquarters we've just moved into. And putting our PDI facility, getting that infrastructure where we handle all of our PDIs and our transportation ourselves, getting all that put in place to me was more important than putting stores on the board in the beginning.
Okay. So if we talk about the metamorphosis of the industry and the growth, the emergence of dealer groups, you're one of them.
Well, I think I'm the fourth biggest. I think it goes Camping World, Retailer General, me, and I think Bish is right there behind us, I think. So that's kind of the big groups out there right now anyway.
Do you differ in any way, shape, or form in your mind from the different dealer groups we're seeing across the country?
Oh, 100%. I would say the only one that I see similarities with myself in is probably General. They're a long-term, sturdy company playing a long game. I think of myself as an infinite player in this game, and I'm going to just keep playing over and over. My decisions are going to be based on 10-year, 15-year thinking.
You mentioned Jarrod, General RV as being an outfit that you may see some comparisons with. And it's funny because I was doing some homework last week. They're at 17 stores and you're at 18. But one of the things that I'm wondering about also is that they grow greenfield.
Yes, so do I.
So do you?
Yes, I've probably acquired 3 locations in all the stores that I've put in place. I prefer to greenfield, to tell you the truth. That's our preferred method of growth. But when the right deal comes along, I will look at it. It makes sense. I bought the store up in Anna, closed it down for a month, and reopened it as a Funtown store. The little store we bought down in Orange, Texas. It was a smaller store, and we were able to get in at what I felt was the right price in that market. And so, I will look at purchasing one. It's to me, the evaluations in the last 6, 7 years were just ridiculous. You had a lot of people out there putting evaluations on RV dealerships that's never even seen a downturn before. I mean, you weren't in the industry in 08, 09, and 10, and you're out here trying to evaluate on the business that was happening from 2012 to 2022. All you saw was smooth water. So it's kind of funny watching these guys put these big numbers on them and not understanding how quickly things can turn.
Rick?
Well, that's probably a good a segue as any. You wouldn't be doing all this expansion unless you were supremely confident in the long-term health of the RV industry.
Oh, absolutely. Long term, if you go all the way back to the 80s, and I'm a big stats guy, call Scott over there, stat survey. I bet he doesn't have anybody that bugs him as much and talks about things and works on programs with him as much as I do. But you can trend it every 5 to 7 years. We'll take a major downturn. We just had an extraordinarily good period, and I don't know if you want to count it to the political regimes that were coming in and out doing a fairly good job of the economy, going all the way back to the housing crisis, or what you want to, low interest rates is probably where you could say what stayed constant that entire time. We had a really good run of retail, but we do this every so often. We take a step back, and if you didn't build your business models with a step back in it, it's never going to go straight up. It's going to dip, and short term, I think if you go back to what I told everybody at the March Power Breakfast, I think I was right on, and I had a lot of people coming up telling me how pessimistic I was. I was just pessimistic about the short term. Long term, I'm as optimistic about this industry as I could be. It's just.
So would you update what you had to say in March? Would it change any right now?
I wish the guys would have listened to me back in January, February, March when I was telling them to slow down. I mean, who would have thought producing 250% of what we were retailing for 8 months would come back and bite the OEMs and manufacturers? I mean, I was sitting there telling them to do it. There's a couple other guys. I was like, it doesn't take a mathematician to figure out you're way overproducing. We created our own inflation inside of our inventory, so that 40% inflation, probably 20% of that was created by ourselves, overproducing inventory all at one time, and building things out of line. It created a lot of poor product. So not only do we have the increase from everybody trying to build too much all at once, we have the increase of what the warranty costs are going to be, because most of the stuff they built wasn't as good quality as what they normally built. So they put us in a trick bag. But this isn't the first time. We did the same thing when we came out of the 08 crisis. We did the same thing when we came out of the 03 and the 2001 crisis. We have a habit of doing the same thing over and over as an industry and not learning from it.
Paint a picture, if you would, of 2023 then. Yes.
Well, there's a lot of variables in there, but as long as retail lending stays, the demand for it stays strong. It's more expensive, but as long as we keep having retail lenders that are coming to the table willing to buy the paper, we're going to be fine. If we ever get to that 2008 scenario to where you could sell an RV, when you finally did find somebody would buy one and you couldn't get them financed, that's when things really get ugly. Right now, it's not near that bad from my seat, from what I'm seeing. This is choppy waters, but it's nothing like what we've been through in the past. People that don't understand about how curtailments work, when inflation goes up 40%, well, your curtailments are going to go up 40% if you're not managing your inventory correctly. So there's a lot of little things out there that you better be on top of right now that 5 years ago you didn't even have to think about.
Product trends. What are you seeing?
Well, right now, everybody in the world's thinking, I guess single axles are up to about 20% of the travel trailer sales. But the problem is everybody in the world's producing them. There's not a lot of profit to be made in there. It's a very entry unit, and that market's saturated. But single axle seems to be the hot thing right now. Destination trailers are very, very hot, but there's not very many dealers that really stock those destination trailers out there. But more people are buying them to live in for short-term and long-term housing. A lot of people are buying them in while they're building or for lake houses. So I'd say destination trailer has the most upside as far as being a profitable area of expansion. And single axles, there's a lot more selling, but there's not a lot of money to be made selling them.
Okay, fair enough.
a delicate question.
I will tell you this, I do see laminate taking a bigger and bigger hold of the entire market, metal going away. The cost to ship metal now to replace any metal has just gone out of sight. The quality of metal has gone downhill so bad, and the gap between what a laminate trailer and a metal trailer costs to build, we're almost to a point where laminate doesn't, there's no reason to go to metal over laminate unless they can figure out some real ways to put some gaps in there. You really shouldn't even put that option in front of your customer. If there's $1,000 difference between the two, why would you even offer that? I mean, you just need to keep doing more and more laminate until you can drive the cost of building that down to lower than the metal.
A delicate question, Jarrod. I know you're not geographically on the front lines of the hurricane damage, but it's quite the buzz throughout America right now. What's going to happen with the emergency housing, we'll call it, versus the last go round? What are you hearing?
I've got pretty good ties into that. I've already sold about 500 over there to the state. We did that last week. They got their round one going right now. They've got 4 or 5 major groups that are buying from dealers out there. From what I understand, most manufacturers are not going to sell to those groups that are selling to the Florida Department of Emergency Management and FEMA, which is smart after what they put us through with Katrina. I would hope that the manufacturers would never do that again. And I hope dealers are smart enough to put an arm's length between them and the state and FEMA, because those are guys you don't want to get on the wrong side of when it comes down to the legality and things. You want somebody who's in between you and them, going out there making sure that all the rules are being followed and they're using the units the right way, where it doesn't come back on you if there's a problem, as we all experienced with Katrina.
So what's a perfect world as far as emergency housing? Make sure I understand.
Well, right now, what they're wanting, they're buying mainly double axle trailers right now. They're trying to get things under 35,000, sleeps up to 5. They want to buy long runs of things. They want the same floor plans over and over. There's not a lot of dealers that have huge amount of bulks in the same floor plan. Luckily, that's the way I order. So, I'll have 200 or 300 of one floor plan available that I can pull out and sell to them, and that's what's always allowed me to do some business with them and have it available right now on the spot. But what they're wanting is, the impossible. They're wanting you to be able to supply all this stuff on the spot right away, stand behind it, not have any problems. So you really got to set expectations with the people you're doing business with. If you're not explaining to these people that these were never built with full-time intention in mind, and you don't have that understanding going in with who you're doing business with, there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings at the end of the day when these things start having problems after somebody's lived in them for a year.
Yeah.
Rick?
Well, gosh, we could talk with Jarrod forever and ever, but maybe end on a totally different note here. Couple weeks from now will be the RVDA Convention Expo out in Vegas. Funtown RV is one of the top 50 blue ribbon dealers, one of the 5 blue ribbon dealers. Congratulations on that. Just real general, your expectations for the Con Expo. What do you most look forward to?
Well, I'm hoping we see some innovation out there. When things start tightening up and things get a little harder to make money, that's when everybody sharpens up their tools and gets new things come out. I'm hoping for software. I'm hoping to see some banking innovations. I mean, it's about time that we sit down and look at ourselves, the software between the dealer manufacturer, the manufacturer OEM. When you have all the lenders that we're doing business with, we've got to catch up to the auto world. We still sign things, and have to scan them back in the computer. It's time right now. Things have slowed down. It is time for innovation, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for software companies, finance companies, people that will figure out how to take steps, take some of the bricks out of the bags we're carrying. We need everybody to step forward right now, whether it's your Forest River or Thor, and figure out ways to handle the communications between the dealer and the manufacturer better. We need the banks to figure out how to contract the customer better, what's better for the consumer, for them, for ourselves. Somebody should be getting this GPS program pushed across the finish line, where the lender, the manufacturer, the dealer can all track the the RV from the moment it leaves the factory. There's no reason why we shouldn't be on top of that. So there's a lot of innovation that's begging to take place, and that's what I'm looking to see.
Sure.
Anything that you wanted to add to that, Jarrod, before we close out?
I think if you look at the last 8 months, we're in the middle of the slowest year we've had since 2018. In fact, I mean, depending on whose numbers you're looking at, you know, if you look just at the market scope and towables and motorized combined, I think August that just reported, the last report was probably one of the worst ones we've seen in 5 or 6 years. Now, if you're looking at it from just that point of view, it looks bad. But if you're looking at the totality of where we're at, how many we've sold, I made really good money in 2008. A lot of other people did too. So it's not that bad. The sky's not falling. Everything's going to be all right. Things are good. It's just how we play it from here. If you think you're going to do what you did in 2020 and 2021 and 2023, then you're going to be very upset. But if you're just looking to have a good, solid business, make money, it can be done very easily if you play your cards right.
Okay.
I don't think anybody could say it any better than that.
Nope. I think it goes without saying that we appreciate the heck out of it, Jarrod.
Oh, anytime. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. And keep it up. I enjoy watching the shows.
Thanks, Jarrod.
All right. Thanks, Rick. Okay.
Take care, man.